Well, well, well. Thank you, Jake. Thank you. Jake.
You're crazy. Am I? Yes. Am I? Yes. Am I?
I knew the day would come, yeah, when I could say,
I told you so.
And today, or should I say yesterday, was that day. Right? As a video that is going viral throughout the socials of a man by the name of Jake and his, I don't know if it's his girlfriend or his partner, expressing their opinions having seen Priti Patel on TV.
Hello, Amy.
Hi.
I am a white man.
With ginger bits.
Still white.
With ginger
with
bits.
ginger bits. And they want me to take advice from this called Priti Patel and the chocolate man next to her. Now, as a white man, I won't be listening to people of colour because they're no good in positions of power.
Jake!
A black man's place is under a white man, and should stick to raping children in Rotherham, not telling me what I can and can't do on an evening. So yeah, fuck the packies and...
Now, me personally, I'm not surprised by that language. You know what? I'm of that age when I grew up in an area where that kind of talk about black and Asian people was common.
Caught you red-handed with your black paw in the till, you filthy... Please, you're making a big mistake. Yes, that's what they all say. You're making a mistake, my little chocolate drop.
For a lot of people, especially like the younger generation, those who were brought up or born around the 2000s and so, this might be a surprise. This might be surprising to them because during that period of time, it was, like I say, suppressed, or it was kept behind closed doors. You know, back in the 80s and 90s when they were throwing bananas on the pitch and all those things there, right? Throughout the 90s and the early 2000s, all of that was, you know, restricted and people were getting punished or whatever it was, where you couldn't do it openly. But then it did eventually resurface itself because, again, it was held behind closed doors. But because it was behind those doors, it didn't mean that people had changed their attitude or their feelings weren't the same. It's just that they just didn't express it as openly as they used to before, right? So to see or to hear this guy in his own yard who's had a few drinks and whatever, right? For him and his missus to say that, or for him missus to sit there condoning him saying that, yeah, ain't no surprise to me, right? Now, what's going to be interesting now for me is how those of the Patriot side of the game, how they're going to try and justify what he said, because you know they're going to. You know they are, right? They're going to say, oh, he was drunk, right? And he didn't mean it, right? Or it was a slip of the tongue. Or they'll try and put some next context onto it. Oh, you've got to watch it in its entirety nonsense, right? Or then you'll find they'll try and do the whataboutery. So, and the first thought I came up with the whataboutery, they're going to go back to that woman that said, kill Whitey. I'll find the clip.
When we say we want to kill Whitey, we don't really mean we want to kill Whitey, we do.
When we say we want to kill Whitey, we don't really mean we want to kill Whitey, we do.
They're going to use this and say, well, what about what she said, right? And now she was a comedian and she said it in a context which was completely different. This guy's sitting there just ranting, right? But that's what they're going to do. They're going to try and deflect and make it all about, well, what about what so-and-so said? Because that's what they're good at, right? Just to try and justify what he said, you know what I mean? They're going to deflect because they can't justify it. But what they'll do is deflect from it, right? And then the other thing about those on the nationalist side of the game, because, you know, I know some of the people that I follow, yeah, just to keep an eye on them kind of thing. And they're the first to scour the internet to find something blasé or to find something negative about black people, right? But then, and yet claim that they are fair, or claim that they are journalists, and claim that they are just reporting everybody's news. But then when things like this happen,
What? Nothing. Okay, all right. See you later. All right.
Not a fart comes out of their mouth, right? Find that interesting. And then what else have I got here? I was going to ask how we're going to punish this guy, right? And to be honest with you, the truth is, other than him losing his job, the only way that I could see him... the thing is, yeah, people who have this attitude have grown up with this kind of attitude all their life. And I'm not saying that a leopard can't change its spots, but they rarely do. I've always said that, right? And even if he loses his job, or, you know, he gets a fine or something like that, it ain't going to change him. In fact, I would say it makes it even worse, because he's going to hold it, because what he will do is he'll hold everyone else accountable for his own actions, and then he'll get mad at everyone and say, well, yeah, and try and flip it in his mind. He'll flip it and make it sound as if everyone's against him, as if he didn't do nothing. You know what I'm trying to say? He's going to be mad at everyone else for, why are you sacking me and why are you doing this to me? And totally forget what he said, right? So in the stance of punishing him, I think the only thing that can be done really is that people should not forgive him. Not forgive the actions that he's done. Yeah, because I'm not going to suggest going violent and everything, because that's not what I'm about. You know what I mean? But hold him to account for what he said, and then show no mercy in forgiveness for what he said, because you know what is going to happen. Give it 3 or 4 weeks, a month, or 6 months, a couple of months after him groveling and begging and, oh, come on, mate, please, mate. Yeah. People in his own group and his own set, they're going to forgive him, and then they're going to forget about it and just push it off as in, well, okay, then you said it once, all right, fair enough, you've not said it again, so blum, 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 blum. Nah, sod that, yeah, castrate him, whatever, send him out, making a dub, you know, send him to Coventry, send him to Coventry, as they used to say back in the day, and showed how old I am. And then finally, two other things, yeah. One thing that I also wanted to mention is this. Priti Patel. Right, now, as you can see in the video, he was watching her on the TV, right? Which kind of like instigated this whole rant, right? And for me, I've never liked Priti Patel or trusted her based on her policies, because at the end of the day, she has been throwing black people under the bus for the longest with all this deportation stuff, yeah? And she's been doing it thinking that she can get favors, right, from the white community. She's doing it in the sense that she thinks that, well, you know what, right, I'm going to be strong on deportation. I'll get rid of them black people, yeah, to show that I'm being strong on my and where I stand, and it makes me look good for my employees. And at the same time, she's allowing them to use her as that individual that they can use to say, well, we can't be racist, our policies can't be racist because she's not white, right? This is her wake-up call.
They want me to take advice from this called Priti Patel.
Because guess what? Yeah, once you Priti Patel have got rid of all the black people, guess who they're going to turn on to next? Yeah, right? That's just a quick reminder, or I don't want to say warning, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah, right? And then finally, the problem, I think, with racism in this country, again, it's a matter of, well, a lot of people will say, well, you know what, right? It will always boil back down to this lone wolf kind of concept where, you know what, it was one man and his missus in the living room, and that it was they're going to excuse it by saying, you know, he was drunk and so forth and so on. But the problem with that, to me, is that there are too many of these lone wolves running around, right, for you to say that it's not uncomfortable for black people. Because when you look at the population of this country, yeah, let's say there's 70 million people here, it's only 5% of the population is black. Not even that, I think it's about 4, to be honest with you, yeah, that is black. And that means, and 80 something percent is white, and the other 15, 16% is Asian, Far East Asian, all combined, yeah? So, no, it's not 15. It'd be about, 15 is total, isn't it? No, so it'd be about 12%, I think, is Asian, right? And speaking on behalf of the black people, and this is just me putting myself in that position for this video, not that I'm saying that I'm a spokesperson for black people generally, right? But as a black person, right, this is a problem because that lone wolf, if it only takes, it would only take maybe 6 or 7% of the white people in this country to have his active attitude to be a problem for every black person in this country. Yeah? Only 6 or 7% of the white community. And so that means the other 95%, 94% of the white community, even though they do not harbor this guy's attitude, and even though they don't express it, and for them, many of them who are, let's say, against it, what you'll find is that if they are not saying anything, or they're not punishing him neither, or they're just going like, well, yeah, he's not one of us, they're just letting him they're just giving that person and individuals like them to still be able to maintain their racist attitudes, again, unpunished, which, as I said, becomes a problem for black people. And then when black people tend to get physical about it, we're the ones who are animals and feral. Anyway, I thought I'd just drop that as it came out the other day, and it's just a quick one. Well, as quick as I can get them. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Know what I mean? And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'm out. Peace.
Yes. Am I? Yes. Am I? Yes.